Hi everyone, so today I have this new collection to share with you that Spellbinders has brought to their site. It is a collection by Wendy Vecchi, and I think this is called Tab Classics. I'm not sure because I know it's kind of an add-on and continuation of the Not Your Ordinary card collection that came out in September of 2024. So if you have the main die, which I believe is still available there on Spellbinders, I just checked that out, you can put these on there. So this is an add-on set for that. But there are a bunch of cute things in this collection that, of course, are standalone. They don't have to go back to that. I mean, even this, it comes with these beautiful flowers. So anyway, let's back up. I will say that Spellbinders did send these items free of charge for my review, and all opinions are my own. The links I'll have in the description box for the US and the UK will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. And generally with, Spellbinders, I'll link the full, everything they've come out with for October 2025 and then just this collection. And so it's really cool. I was super excited to share this one with you. I will say when I was checking it out, it looks like this set right here is sold out, but you can still get the embossing folder with the dies. And hopefully that just means they was a placeholder. Maybe it's not really sold out, I hope. Because you can pick up the stencil, right? So the stencil, they're not going to sell it separately by itself because there's no use for it. I mean, unless you have this. So this is a set that is available. It's a thank you bouquet, and it says thank you, as you can see there. And you also have the die to cut that out. You have this beautiful, big arrangement of the flowers there. And then you have the die for that too. So this comes together already. Like if you were looking at it and you think it's just the embossing folders, a 3D embossing folder, no, it comes with the dies, okay? And then there's a set that's both of these things plus the stencil, okay? So the other one is just these two together because they're going to come together that way. And then the other one is the stencil with the bundle. So again, you have the dies for all these beautiful standalone flowers and everything else. So again, you're going to need a machine that can accommodate a 3D embossing folder and also that can accommodate this being 5 3/4 by 8 3/4, okay? And I mean, just beautiful. And again, this is a cut and emboss. So generally, when they're cut and emboss, I go ahead and put this inside and run it through so it's cutting and embossing all at the same time. They are not glued down, right? So if you look at this, you're going to place it where it needs to be. This one looks like right in there. And I'm placing on this part. This is where it's debossed, like it's pushed in, and this is what's embossed, like it's up, right? So I would put this up here with the blade facing down. You're going to put your paper, close that up, run it through. Okay, and then that can happen. Or you just put a piece of cardstock that's big enough for this area. If you just want it to be on the cardstock, run that through. You're going to keep an eye out for this guy. So it's going to be very tight if you're using it that way. So essentially, you're probably going to want to use them every time with the die. Same thing with all the other shapes. You just pop it in there, run it through. So this is really gorgeous. And then again, it does have the stencil. Like I said, it's not available right now. So maybe I'll hold on to this until they come in stock, and if it seems like it's just gone because it was like one and done, I'll still make a tutorial on it for people who did pick it up. Again, that's one of the charms of being a club member is you get early access. So some of these things do sell out during that time. My goodness, start like choking. Okay, so this is another 3D embossing folder called Polka Dot and Posy Duo, and I think this is very cute because you can put a card in here, a whole card, and run it through, and it'll have texture, on both sides, the front of the card and the back of the card. But really, it's meant so you put an A2 size here and A2 size here, right? Like a card top or a card front. So super cute. Again, it is 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. It is a 3D embossing folder, so you're going to want a machine that can cut that for you. Or not cut it, but emboss that for you, manage that. And I don't know why I'm measuring that. I was trying to measure this. So the inside of this is going to be 5 1/2, probably right at 4 1/4. Yeah. And then the next one, 4 1/4, same thing, but it has a little bit of an edge. That's why they're able to get both these on here. Super cute little designs with the little dots, and then these little posies here. Super cute. So the add-ons for that larger die, again, it's a big boy. Funny enough, for that one, I went to look at my video to make sure I had what I need to go grab. So I'll do this pocket in a separate video because I need to grab that. And I was like, when did that come out so I can go and get it from the right spot, So September 2024. So that's a whole big pocket. But then, you have this tab piece. You have the little pocket decoration. It comes with this cute little lacy bit. Well, this one's a little more rickrack. These beautiful flowers you can layer up. You have leaves. You have, you know, your little sprigs of leaves, and then the centers for your flowers and things like that. Okay, this one looks very plumeria. This other one's a little more wild. There you go. And that is the Tab Classics Essential Envelope Everyday Add-ons. Now, again, this one's called Tab Classics. It says it's an add-on in the title, but it goes to the Not Your Ordinary card collection. These weren't named the same, so that's kind of why I was like, where's the base thing? Because I can see that this does not go in this, guys. You can't just buy these two and think you're going to make a pocket. They're exactly the same size, so it's not going to go in there. It's meant to accent that main die, but I'll link the that item also again down in the description box. You have to expand the title or say show more and you'll see that. This is very cool right here. So this is a photopolymer stamp set. Again, I have samples. That's why they look like this. Yours will be well packaged and, you know, everything is very nice when you receive it. It's tabbed in and out sentiments. So you have all these dies that cut these guys, and these guys, it's not just because it's the one with the different words. It's you can pair them up in fun ways. I don't know, maybe. So I made this for you, and you have the die for that. Pull has a die just for that. Sending a hug, feel better, wishes, heartfelt thanks. You're not gonna say sending a hug, a huge hug, excuse me. Feel better, wishes, heartfelt thanks. Obviously, sending heartfelt thanks or whatever. Sending feel better wishes, which is kind of interesting wording. Thinking of you at this time is. At this difficult time, excuse me. I was going to say thinking of you at this time is difficult. Okay, that's not good. Thinking about how much I miss you. You can mix and match all these different things if they make sense, right? Happy to celebrate your birthday. Happy anniversary to an amazing couple. Happy that you're a great friend. Wishing we were neighbors. Wishing you the most wonderful day. You know, kind of things. And then again, you can mix and match all these things. So very different. So I think what I'm going to do today is probably make a card with this stuff. Oh, yeah, and we'll use... Oh, okay, let me think. Maybe we'll use the flowers. I said I'd follow up with the stencils later. And then these guys, obviously, I wanted to use also later. So let me think. Maybe we'll do some layered flowers anyway. But let me grab some paper, card base, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have a standard A2 size card here, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I went ahead and cut a piece of this kind of bluish. It does have a white core, so we'll see if we end up rubbing out on that, but I'm not sure. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, because that's the kind of matte layer I like. I like it to be nice and tight. But if you want to cover the whole thing, 4 1/4 by 5.5, or 4 by 5 1/4, whatever you like. Oh, this is one thing I didn't think about. Which of these sides I want to use? And you can definitely run it through like both pieces like that, so that you have both of the designs on your paper, right? If you want something like this, and maybe you have a little strip here and some cute stuff up here, or split it and however you want, right? That's very cute. Oh, that's cute. I wasn't going to do anything like that. What I was going to do is get the smaller die, this guy, and I think, put some little flowers in each corner, and then our little sentiment down the middle. So I wasn't planning on doing anything fun like that, but that's definitely something to think about. Let's use this guy. I'm just going to place this in the very center of the design because I can do that. It's almost as if it's has like a little border all around. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and run this through. Again, it is a 3D embossing folder, and I'll be right back. Now, the color I chose for this, I would say it's very springy, but this is actually a darker blue than I normally use. I usually use a much brighter, actually, this one. And I think we can make it look a little bit more fall, maybe. But so there you go. So again, it has a white core and it cracked a little bit. If you're getting a lot of cracking, you can definitely spray your paper with a little bit of water. I wasn't really concerned enough to do that because white core cardstock sometimes wants to do that. I was just going to go ahead and scrape over it with a nail buffer. Anyway, to just get a little texture. It would be very cute though to split that design now that I was thinking about that. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to go over this with a nail buffer. And you can see I've used it on all sorts of different colors of paper. Just get a little of that out. Not too much. That's good. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm just going to glue that down, okay? And I'll be right back. Oh, in the meantime, go and take this. Oh my gosh, every time I do that, there's all kinds of little pieces of fluff and stuff in the air. I'm going to take this guy. maybe run it through like a goldenrod or something like a mazy kind of color, and then like a pretty green on both of those guys. And then the center of the flower, let's do black, just to make it a little more fall. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna cut 4 of these, maybe a couple of each of these. Okay guys, so I have our little simple flowers here. Maybe my yellow is a little too yellow, but anyway. You can definitely shape these if you want to get a little something going. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick these centers down. Actually, I'll probably do this. They're pretty delicate looking, and you don't have to stick the whole thing down. Maybe just give it a little push down the center. So that gives a little movement just with that center piece not being completely stuck down, just in the very, very center. Okay, I'll do that with all 4. Alright, and so my idea was to put a little flower in each corner. Let me look at the shape of them. Maybe facing down this way. Is that the same? No, this way. Well, it doesn't really matter. I just want to put them all in here. And then, I'm just looking at their shapes. Maybe I do put this one like this. I was trying to angle them in different angles. I don't know. All right. And then we have these leaves. So I don't know if I want these little guys just like here. And then maybe this bigger one down in here. Or you can definitely cut more. So there's some here and some here, you know, however. Let me see. So then I go back to this guy. And then I go back to this guy. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to put a little glue down the center like I normally do. And I'll glue the rest of them down just the way we see them. This one. Yeah, something like that. And then I'll just glue the rest of them down. Okay, guys, something like that. And let's see what we want to stamp. So again, these other things have to do with like, you know, the pull tab. And then that's why you have like the sending at the very top of the pull tab, you know, or the insert. And then, you know, once you pull it out, you have your message or however. Oh, that's so cute. Let's do wishing you the most wonderful day. And I'm just going to stamp this on white paper. Bring that crisp look back. I'm going to find a scrap of white paper. I'll just stamp that. Simply stamp that. Is what I wanted to say. I don't know. Oh, here. Well, nope, that's not white paper. I mean, it is, but I'll be right back. I'm just going to stamp that right quick. Okay. I was going to go ahead and stamp it off camera, but I know people like to see what I'm doing, so there you go. And I'm just going for, you can definitely use a stamp positioner, just making sure everything's touching. Nice and crisp, and you heard that. Again, with a photopolymer stamp, it comes with a sticky dispersion layer on it. They're kind of, that's just what happens when they make it. So either you rubber that off, wipe it down with some alcohol first, stamp a few times, rub it on your shirt, but of course that gets like a little fuzz on it. But anything that'll take that stickiness away, I generally don't have problems with that, so I just use it like you just saw me do. But okay, so we have that guy. And then this is the die that goes along with it, which is very cool. And okay. Just eyeballing that. And I'm just going to run that through, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just ran that through, and oh, I was like, where's my sentiment? It stayed over here. And I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of those guys, and then maybe just keep this one for another different card. Okay, guys, so just pop some dimensionals on there, not super thick. And you know what? I wasn't really paying attention to how I want to do that. So let's, I mean, we can even go this way, right? Oop. Sorry, gotta go pick up my daughter. So that went off. Okay. But yeah, something to think about. Let's place this here before I really stick it down. Oh, maybe a little too far over to the left. These are some older adhesive I have, so it gets really sticky. Push that out from the back. And there is my card. Again, you know, mixing and matching with the original sets and things like that. I think there was a Christmas one then, and there were Halloween ones that went along with it. So, I mean, if you wanted the whole collection, you know, with all the different pieces, like I said, they do have different names. So I will link the other collection, but especially the main die that would coordinate with these add-ons, okay? All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I'll have images coming up. I'll have the links in the description box, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.